Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Seminary. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. I came across a video and I am still trying to wrap my head around how some people sit down to make this kind of video, especially Asian community. Okay, looking at her, actually, she is very light skinned, but her face did not give her away. I still know where she is from. So, for majority of you that are trying as hard as you can to buy into white supremacy, I want you to know that your features most times give you like your features give you away, and there is nothing you can do about it. You can't hide it. We know who is who and who is not who, right? So you already can quit because I see majority of you, all you all can do is use black activists' name to rub in the mud or look for a way to turn his or her speech upside down just to suit your narrative. You all can quit that. And a Filipino woman is actually out there talking about how the anti-black that runs in their community is too much. And sometimes I am like, I don't know, you all like, seeing all these groups that should even come together and form a big I don't know, but like form a very strong ally and all that with one another are always the first to come out there to tell you some certain things about us. But one thing I know is that we do not care about what anybody think about black people, and we are not looking for allyship. You all should continue with whatever you all think about us. But one thing I know for sure is that you all are not white. Let's get into this video.
Martin Luther King Jr. was a completely made-up character created by the FBI. And I know I'm going to get so much hate for this, but you cannot deny this is not the truth because this is coming directly from the unclassified files that President Trump released.
Have you ever wondered what it looked like? Yeah, what did it look like when you met somebody who was on a combination cocktail of meth, thick, dope, and dog food? I and Van Nguyen decided they would go first. Understand this also before we start, that their daddy, Trump, just made the United States official language as English. But in spite of that, comprehension is the same. Let's get it.
This is directly from the FBI website that is vault.fbi.gov. This is where the unclassified document on Martin Luther King Jr., his image, and his assassination is uploaded. Just in the first 5 pages, it completely reveals how Martin Luther King Jr. was selected to be the activist leader and how they pushed it through mainstream media news.
Now, that in of itself may be enough for you all to think she's on meth. But she proceeds to read the following pages, to just read them, and you'll see where the dick, dope, and dog food kick into this combination.
States right there in the middle, I know it's kind of hard to read because the files are old. It says Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the target of an intensive campaign by the FBI to neutralize him as an effective civil rights leader. And it all
Bella, that's my dog. She's female, and she's not here at the time. She's a couple of states over. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So this individual, and I put it here so you can pause and read, literally read Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the target. And remember, refer back to the fact that English is now the official language of this country. Hold that and let me finish what she was saying.
And it also says this and other testimony describing this FBI counterintelligence campaign against King reached the public through the news media.
Wait a minute. Let me see if I have this right. This troglodytic, Caucasus Mountain adjacent, piss-colored snow roach had the nerve to put the name of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in her mouth after literally reading what this file said and coming to those conclusions.
Hold on. So create a narrative, hire an actor, and then use mainstream media to program it to become the truth. This is just more confirmation that this has been their playbook the entire time. If you're not...
Now listen up, because this message doesn't just go for I am Van Newen. This goes for all of you all with your proximity to whiteness who think that that's going to save you. Keep the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s name out your bitch ass mouths.
Anti-Blackness in the Filipino community, let's talk about it. I was really disappointed with how some Filipinos reacted to two of my videos that I did on how Black history and Filipino history are intertwined. I did that video because not a lot of people know about it, and it's also Black History Month. As we know, a lot of Black history gets lost and forgotten, and there's a lot of work that goes into uncovering these stories. And on a side note, the brutal truth when it comes to the Spanish and American occupation in Philippines also gets glossed over. Genuinely, some people believe it was a good thing. But I digress. When I was talking about Captain David Fagan and Ida B. Wells, I wanted to highlight, despite the struggles that the Black community was facing in the US during the time, he still had enough empathy to extend it to other POCs. Captain David Fagan turned his back on the American army because he saw what the US was going to do to the Philippines. And he was right. Telling stories like this does not create division, especially when the story is about unity. Just because there is a bad guy in the story that you love, i.e. bootlicking Filipinos that love the US, you find offense to that because you can't fathom seeing the country that you worship so much be the bad guy in an event that actually happened. This is what happens when you know your history. How did anti-Blackness make its way into the Filipino community? Take your pick. We can start with the Spanish colonization of Philippines for over 300 years, where they introduced a caste system that made Filipinos believe that darker skin and indigenous features are inferior to lighter skin and European features. People with lighter skin and Eurocentric features were considered to be closer to power than people that didn't have it. During the American colonial period, there was a lot of racial propaganda, even calling Filipinos the N-words of Asia. They literally didn't view you, Filipinos, as any better. They were using Black caricatures back home, depicting you, us, as uncivilized people. It literally benefited them and continues to benefit them. There is division between minority groups. And here you are parading your anti-Black racist ideology that literally does nothing for you. Here, now you know. I'm sick of seeing comments from other Filipinos being like, oh, well, Black people, blah, 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 blah. Stop. You literally don't want Filipinos to be described as a monolith. You literally don't want an example of bad Filipinos to identify an entire nation, an entire population. So why are you doing the same with Black people? There is absolutely no place for anti-Blackness in our culture. It shouldn't have been there in the first place. It is vile, it is disgusting, and we as a people know better than that. Especially when we are such a collective and loving society. Take that anti-Black shit out.
This is all I got from this video. I love the fact that some of them know that the anti-Blackness that runs in their bloodstream is just way too much. I remember bringing the last lady's one of her videos here where she was talking about how Black community or Black people in general like really have helped them so much to fight so many things. She is Philippines, from Philippines, right? And then her community did not let her rest, right? Because she spoke the truth. You and I know the truth too, because when it comes to civil rights and all that, Black people played major role in every race. That is something we all know, right? And the fact that Black people have been on, there is nobody you can talk about when it comes to, Black people being in everybody's, not really being in everybody's space, being in people's space to help them. This is something that everyone knows, that Black people have played so many important role in other people's community or communities, right? Now, this woman that wants to really be white, because you can see that her skin is really very light skin, but her eyes did not give her away, right? And some of her features did not give her away. And how she speaks also did not give her away. You all want to have an opinion when it comes to what is going on in Black people, or you want to talk so bad about Black activists. And I remember a video where a lady talked about how they always look for a way to look for a Black activist and twist some of his or her words to make it suit what they want to talk about. You all can just go and rest and leave us alone. Black people, leave Black people alone. Leave Black people out of your BS. because you all, they've already used you people as pawns. Until this very moment, you all still do not want to have brain. I don't know how some people cannot even sit down and think well of themselves. You don't have brain, and you are also not looking for a way to have the brain. So what is going to happen? You are like an empty can, you know, empty can that makes the loudest noise. I'm gonna leave it out here, and I will see you all in my next video. Let them continue to swallow the glaze of white supremacists. This is Tina Times Word. See you all. Bye for now.